Hello everyone and welcome back to Plough Lane after a interesting game, 1-1 draw to Newport County, which saw Reds 2 penalty and a lacklustre Wimbledon performance second half, and a referee that's changed the game. I'm joined to my far left by George Jones, Stuart Deacons and obviously Rob Boyce as well. And yeah, I don't know who's best to start.
Well,
What's that?
Well, you're one out. Look, I've got the jumper on.
Oh no.
Where's the Christmas stuff? Yeah, George,
Get a hat.
Well, you know what? The ref has knocked the Christmas stuffing out of me, Stu, after that penalty decision, you know.
Can we have a vote to get Boise off after that, Joe? That's appalling, mate.
I don't know.
Anyway, just saying.
Anyways,
Moving on.
I'm in a Christmas spirit, so is the referee.
Yeah.
George, as our expert love of referees, talk us through it.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot that you can say that probably hasn't already been said on social media or in various WhatsApp groups. I think that, the red card for Carl Hudlin in the second half was a red card. I don't think there's anybody who's really going to argue that. It was a very, very poor penalty, as Matthew Harwood has said. I don't think that's ever a penalty. I think the referee is probably the only person in the ground who thought it was, bar maybe a couple of hundred Newport fans. And yeah, it was appalling. And I think the referee lost control from the 5th minute when he got very picky over a throw-in when it was taken, made it be retaken, then gave a foul throw, and then never did anything like that for the rest of the game, even though that offence was repeated multiple times by both teams. The ref just had no control over it. We saw those, scuffles on multiple occasions, and the red card was a red card, but it was never a pen. And like you said in the intro, the ref changed the game.
You know what I'm amazed by with the penalty decision? After giving the red card, I just didn't think the ref would also give him a penalty.
Yeah,
fair enough, you've given him a red card. Like I said, I think it was a red card. I'd have to see it back. It looked like Hudlin did have his hands around the guy's throat from what I saw. Didn't have the best angle of it, but I think after that happens and you've already gone down to 10 men, to give a penalty which, let's be honest, it was soft, and I think most fans, would say never a penalty, and I just can't believe the referee thought, yep, that's 100% a penalty. I'm 100% convinced by that. I'm just surprised within 5 minutes of, sending a player off, he's gone and given that penalty, and then 5 minutes to change the game. I think 1-0 up, brilliant Chislett free kick, which ended up in the top bins. We looked like we were cruising for 3 points and had to settle for 1 today.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think you mentioned the referee, but I also look at our sort of tactical side of things and wait until the 85th minute to bring a sub on when you've got a Nathan Young-Coombs who's been fit now for 2 weeks maybe. He's returned back, and I'd be expecting today for him to have 20 minutes, maybe half an hour, and a team that's struggling to get the ball up front. And we made one sub in 90 minutes when we could have changed the game.
I think he would have come on earlier if he weren't for the fact of the red card.
Yeah.
I think that sort of stifled it a little bit. Do you know what, with the red card, I think Hudlin's got sucked into it, because I was actually looking at that, and what happened was the 12 it was a throw on. The 12 kept stepping back and stepping on Hudlin's toes, deliberately stepping on his toes, and then Hudlin's got involved. But I think it looks worse because Hudlin's got to bend down about 3 foot to get his head with that head, and I'll be truthful, I don't think there's much in it. I really don't. I think
they were looking for it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I think the 12 went down quick as anything. If that's a red card, then what does the 12 get the yellow card for then? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, sort of side of it. But what I would say is that on the back of that, we actually did. There was a bit, I think, when Newport got the attack, where we tried to pass it, hit one of our own players. What we need to do is really kill that game and knock it into the corners. But what we've done, we allowed Newport to attack straight away after a red card, and then we were in trouble. It's never a penalty.
The thing is, I would actually slightly disagree with killing the game. I think that game was there for us to win.
Yeah.
I think Newport did
what,
not
even at 10 men?
Yeah, Newport did not impress me. You bring Nathan Young-Coombs on, who I think we can all agree is probably on his day too good for this division.
Yep.
You bring him on, he tears a tired defence apart. He did look a little bit, lackadaisical the word, but he just didn't really seem to be. When you come on with 10 minutes, I'd expect him to be sprinting around the whole time, really trying to put an effort in. He kind of just walked around and didn't look like he was ready for the game.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a bit more, pressing like we saw against Crawley, when he was constant pressing.
Yeah, I would have. I wasn't expecting that from NYC this week. It's his first time playing in 4 or 5 months. He was meant to get minutes, and then the flu went around the camp, so I don't know whether he was affected by that. I would have liked to see Courtney Senior come on today and just he had probably his best game for us in the week against Plymouth. Just to come on and add some legs, just because that was what was missing in that last probably 10 minutes. maybe 15 minutes was just we had no legs up front and we lost Hudlin just because Davis.
I don't know what you did to change it though. That's your problem. I don't really know what you did to change it because it isn't. If you go for it, and I agree what you're saying, but equally, if you throw the points away and you lose at home at the start of Christmas, in terms of we've got Colchester in a couple of days, and then we've got Sutton. I think in the end, Johnny just took the point.
Yeah, he's happy to take the point because I saw.
And it's frustrating because I thought we were well on the way to win.
Yeah, the 3 points for me were in the bag, and then obviously 5 minutes spell has changed the game, and also changed the substitutes because Young Coombs was ready, and on the he took his top off and was ready around about the same time the penalty just before the penalty was given, and obviously I think after that you want to hold on for 10-15 minutes, see how the game kind of pans out, and he's brought him on for the last 10 minutes off, and I think round about the red card mark he was looking to bring him on for Hudlin. So
you know what, there was always going to be a red card today though, but I didn't think it. Let's be fair, there was so many flashpoints in that game, and I think I think Alex Woodyard deliberately done one of them because he got, I think Pell got found, and then Alex Woodyard just decided to push somebody just to wind them up, as if like they needed a little bit of something, but there was a lot of needle in that game. And then in the end we typically get.
But do you know what? I have thought of something positive for the game. I didn't think it was possible, so we can put a smile on our faces. Paul Callenby's off the line clearance was incredible. I thought it was a guaranteed goal. How that player has not scored from where he was. PK did incredibly well. It was acrobatic. I think there's elements of scorpion kick, a bike, all sorts of kicks involved. Get it off the line and really. I think him and Riley Towler are forming such a strong partnership at the moment. Really, really doing well together. And
I agree.
I think Riley Towler's of that left centre back that we've needed for so long. Obviously, it'll be a shame to see him go in the summer. Obviously, we know he's staying now till the end of the season. When he does go, looking to replace him will be really important. But yeah, I think he has really been. I think that's why we're seeing so many. I mean, obviously not today, but in recent games, clean sheets because we've struggled to have that cemented partnership at the back. And Towler and PK have done that for us, and I think we're really seeing the benefits of that. I'm saying Belair again, fantastic. I think he's really nailing down that spot. And if I'm Chris Gunter, regardless of my 100 plus caps for Wales, I'm sitting there probably thinking, wow, I've lost my space in this team.
Yeah, but do you know what? I think Gunter will come back in some points, and just simply because I don't think we can expect to play Byler. I don't think we can expect to play Curry. To be fair, and I thought Curry was just as good on the other side. Do you know what? He reads the game really well. There was a bit where they'd done a diag over him, and obviously the player's got him back, but he deliberately gets in the line of play. He's very switched on.
Very intelligent.
Very intelligent. Do you know what I mean? And when you think about it, our fullbacks are kids.
Yeah.
They're kids.
Very talented kids, though.
Yeah.
They've really got a lot of potential. I think next time it'll be interesting.
But do you remember the same buy they come in? I can't think it was against
Sutton United.
And he got picked on a little bit because they were like, we're actually a weak link. I'd argue now we don't really have a weak link on our sides.
The thing
now.
is, we've gone from having no fullbacks to all of a sudden having our young set, our experienced set, and also Paul Ossu who can play both sides.
I
know you're not a big fan of Paul Ossu, but I really like him.
We've got Isaac Undergear and Paul Ossu, and I think if I was Isaac, I'd probably be knocking on the manager's door asking for a loan in January just to get game time, because I think it's going to be hard for him to get in ahead of Chris Gunter and Miller at the moment.
Because you look at the centre backs, obviously Isaac can also deputise into centre back.
Yeah.
You've got our two at the moment. You've got Nightingale, Pearce. You've got Luke Jenkins as well, who I'd argue for me on performance as a centre back, I'd say he's above Ogden there in the.
Luke's a couple of months away still.
Yeah, but I mean in terms of in the pecking order, I'd say he's ahead of that. And yeah, I think we've gone from having nothing to all of a sudden having a bit of depth, albeit very youth-based, a bit of depth, and it's quite nice to, for once, think, we've actually got options.
Well, it's interesting as well because Alex Pearce is here today and he wasn't even in the squad. He's training behind us over our shoulder at the moment, and he's not even in the squad at the moment.
He's keeping warm, basically. They're running lems to keep warm.
It's funny when Tom said, I've got positive, and he picks up Paul Callenby. I was thinking in my head, well, it's another game unbeaten. What's that now? Nine in the league? Is that under?
And I think that's why we went when it went down to 10 men. I think that's why we went just don't lose.
I agree.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's like momentum, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, what was that? Is it 8 games unbeaten?
8 or 9 in the league now, but
I'm just looking. Colchester have gone to Gillingham today and beat Gillingham 1-0. So they go through a bit of form.
The thing is that I've watched these 9 games that we've watched. Only a couple of them have been convincing. I hate to be negative again, but we don't look like a team that's not unbeaten.
No.
We look like a team that are together in the dressing room, and I love that. I love the fact that some geezer got pushed over the hoarding, Pell straight at him, Callenby's with him, Nick Janner's with him. I like that a lot. I like this, almost a brotherhood with them together. But we don't look like a team who are unbeaten. We don't like a team who can push on.
And that's the thing. In those 9 games, we've only played what I would describe as very well in like 2 of them.
Yeah.
And obviously you had the Orient game and maybe you could find one more in there. But we've been lucky and we've been professional and seen out a lot of games.
I wouldn't say we've been lucky.
I think
lucky. I think
we've rode our luck at times.
Yeah, but
We
I think in this league, apart from Leighton Orient, to be honest with you, I don't think anything looks special.
Yes.
I've not seen any club.
no.
I think in this league you have to be compact, competitive, and that's what we are.
Yeah,
you know, I know we said at
100%.
half time that it wasn't great. I tend to disagree. I felt we were well in the game,
Half-time?
Well, George didn't think we played too well.
I thought the first half was nothing happened.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is we didn't look like we were getting overrun, but we looked compact.
Yeah.
And then when you've got, let's be fair, we've got Ethan Chislett at free kicks at the moment. The guys don't score tappings, does he?
Oh my
He
God.
don't score tappings. What's that, 8 for the season? And probably got 4 or 5 a goal a season.
Yeah.
Dimitri Payet-esque, the way that just held in the air
Yeah.
and just hit the post and in. It was beautiful.
You know what?
Very
We played
beautiful.
pretty football last year for us, and we got relegated. This season, okay, it's not pretty on the eye
That's
at
the
times,
argument, isn't it?
But you know, we're hard to beat. You know, we're keeping clean sheets. And let's be honest, if it wasn't for that 5 minutes where they get a penalty, Hudlin loses his head, we'd probably walk up 1-0, another clean sheet today, and we'll go home happy
Well, I
over
felt
Christmas.
I thought we'd get Nathan Young-Coombs on and probably get a second. I
Yeah,
felt,
but-
Yeah.
you know, but the red card is so. I want to see it again, but it's so stupid.
The thing is, you mentioned about not playing pretty. Go back to that Rotherham game last year. Do you remember? We sat
Oh,
here
they
and
were-
you said you were like, "Oh, what a horrible team to watch." But they get results, and that's why they were leading that division when we played them and played at the park.
I'm happier at the moment with the way things are going compared to last season and also the start of this season where I watched that Sutton United performance, which was a real turning point, and we didn't have a shot. Now, like I said, I don't feel like we're going to get beat. We're hard to beat. We've got a bit of nous about us with players like Harry Pell, which I like. Because growing up as a Wimbledon fan in the 90s and also in modern times of your Lyle Taylors, Danny Bullmans, Barry Fullers, that team which got promoted, I feel like we've got a bit of an edge and something a bit about us.
They're saying that brotherhood of all the players, like they back each other.
I don't think you support Wimbledon thinking you're going to watch Pep Guardiola football week in, week out. That's not what I grew up watching ever. So we ain't been playing pretty. We're getting lucky. I disagree. I think it's just League Two football, and we've got a bit of know-how about us.
On the pre-match show earlier, we discussed not having many chances, not creating many. We didn't create many chances today. Our goal today was a great goal, but it was
It
a
wasn't a
fluky
fluke.
goal.
It wasn't a fluke, but you can't. I
You
get
can't
what
rely
George
on
is
that.
saying. You can't
Yeah.
guarantee
No.
to put a corner top left every
No,
every
no,
sorry,
but,
top left.
that's the thing. But we didn't create chances again today, and that's the good.
I think we've got to be
because at some
careful.
point we will concede goals.
I think we've got to be careful
and
to go away from being
don't
lucky and
score.
because you create your own luck, do you? That ball Chislett done is either a back stick header or
That's a sensational strike.
that's basically what he's trying to hit. He's trying to hit the back stick and he's goes straight in. I don't think it's lucky. I really don't.
I also feel like before the Chislett goal goes in, I think we were getting on top of him.
Well, we
second
thought
half
it
as well.
was a penalty, didn't we?
Yeah, I felt like it was a
It
penalty.
went back to the free kick.
Great,
Well, I think-
Yeah, I
great
don't know
decision.
about that,
Best
yeah.
decision the refs made all game, given that as a free kick in hindsight. But prior to that, I felt like we were getting on top of them. And you say in the first half, not a lot happened, which it didn't. But we were getting the balls in the right area. We were getting them into the box. We were working the ball. Just the delivery wasn't there. We weren't on the end of it. It's not like we were pinned in our half doing nothing.
Oh no, it was a very middle of the pitch
Yeah.
game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It wasn't. Nothing really happened in either box, and then if you get the free kick, you get the red card, which it looked like from where I saw it, it looked like Hudlin was giving it a little bit. God knows what that noise was.
That's last
the
order.
PA system coming into effect.
Trying to test the PA system.
In terms of talking about nothing on the bench, I think what we've got to look at now, we've got the window opening up very
Yes.
soon. And I think that's where we don't have enough game changers, do we? I think we can all argue that.
Yeah.
Which is why we don't use enough subs. But this is the second window for Johnny Jackson. I'm quite looking forward to it in a way.
There's a comment by Brian Alderman saying, "Think Hudlin should have been off before he got sent off." And this intrigue, does he mean he should have got subbed off, or he should have got
subbed off.
Oh, he should have got subbed off before he got sent off. Or, I was
Does
going to say,
not-
did
I
something else
disagree.
happen? Did something else happen I missed?
Yeah, there's
Well,
a-
you disagree? You think he should have stayed on?
I just think you can't. It's not one of them with hindsight. You can say he should have come off.
I think he should have been subbed off in this. I don't know when he got sent off, but around the 60th minute mark would have been when I brought him off.
I know, but none of us were saying 5 minutes before he got
I
sent
was
off.
saying he should be brought off because
Yeah.
I don't think he was very effective in that game.
When did he get sent off? What minute did he get sent off?
I think we were on top at that point, and I just think we weren't. It's not like we needed to make a change. 66 minute probably.
Do you know what? You probably could argue that we normally do make changes around the 60 minutes.
Yeah.
You probably would have thought today Nathan Young-Coombs would have got half an
Let's say
hour.
there's a comment there from Anthony Pape saying, "Do you think NYC should have come on earlier to try and win
So
it?"
there probably
I
is an
agree,
argument. There
yeah.
probably is an argument with that. Whether hindsight's a great thing. It didn't look like Hudlin was going around with the ump trying to beat people up. That was Harry Pell.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, difficult one, but I don't think.
I would have liked to see NYC come on just for the pace and the tenacity of him and Davison together.
Yeah, big time.
There's a comment there from Paul Terrenson saying Johnny really needs to use his subs more. Ref lost control in the first 10 minutes of throwing nonsense. You can't. The second bit, obviously, you can't control the ref's lost control, but I agree. And then I do think he needs to use his subs more.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not been the biggest fan of Alfred Bendel because I think he needs a loan as he's young. But I would have brought him on for a bit of legs.
Yeah.
Marsh, we've got 5 subs we can use. Yeah. Use them.
Bender on for
Would have swapped. Maybe Woodyard, I think.
captain off.
Yeah,
Kid.
I don't think, or maybe Marsh then, but I just want those extra legs. I just don't think near the end is where we seem to flag a little bit. And I would have just used the subs.
But you know, if you look at the sub usage, I remember I've looked at some of the stats because I'm sad like that. We are well low on like average. So how many substitutions you made in total? We are way down in terms of making subs. I think I can't remember the last time we made 5 subs.
I don't think we have.
If ever.
No.
So whether that's Johnny Jackson just not comfortable or thinking that he's got enough on the bench to change it. But then it's difficult, isn't it? Because early on there were teams that were using 5 subs all the time. It was becoming a little bit of a farce, wasn't it? We historically this season haven't. Our subs have always been, and I don't know whether that's just because Johnny is a believer of making too many subs, or he just doesn't feel he has the subs to change.
I think the big thing for me is we just haven't had subs which are game changers. I mean, you
And
look
that's
at the
the thing,
bench
isn't it?
today, it's Nathan Young-Coombs, but you know the argument
They're
is
like for likes, aren't they? Whether they're one of them.
do you bring on a striker? You know, when you're down to 10 men, you're not going to bring on Chris Gunter, for example. You know, and Alex Pearce and you know so on and so forth. So you know we probably need to go in the January transfer window. I see Matt Harwood saying where do we need to strengthen?
Well, on the 9 years TV panel because Matt's still not here.
Yeah, I know.
No, I'm only joking. Mate. I hope King Arthur's all right on that side of it. Where do you strengthen?
I think
It's quite obvious, isn't it?
I think wingers is the key area. If we're going to persist with a 4-2-3-1, I think we need wingers. If we're going back to this sort of 2 up top, I
We
think
need
we
a
need
good
another
squad
striker.
player we can have who can bring on, like an attacking midfielder with a bit of flair. I mean, you know, I think if they're available, we'd get one already. But we need someone who we can pick up, maybe from, you know, looking at dropping into the National League. I mean, there's more money there than probably is in our squad at the moment. Yeah. But looking for someone there who maybe can push on, we can get that.
I think this is where you look at and you go maybe for a first year loan. For someone who you can go to a championship.
That was our problem last year, getting loans in.
I know, but if you're not going to rely on them, if you're saying you're getting 10, 15, 20 minutes off the bench as an impact, as an easy first introduction to men's football, that's the type of thing you can look at.
I don't think that's what we need. We don't need a potentially hit or miss player in the window. We need someone who we can get.
Let's play that.
I don't think there is that one.
Well,
not without money.
I think we need a midfielder, and I think we had the lad from Charlton, didn't we?
Forsikaski.
Rumoured that you missed out on.
I think the big thing with Forsikaski now, though, is Charlton have changed manager, and will he be in the new manager's plans? I watched the AGM a week ago, and you know they were talking about budgets and plans for January. Seems like Johnny Jackson's asked for a couple players, but it seems like they've got budget, maybe a bit of wiggle room for a bit more, maybe 2 players on a loan or a third player.
I reckon we need to get a real guy.
It's going to be interesting, especially with Craig Cope here, and you know they've talked about in the the interviews about having targets. So I expect to see 3 in, but I also think we'll see 3 out. I think we'll see. Probably won't see Hudden play again, in my opinion, and I think we'll see 2 players go out on loan. I think Isaac Ogadir will probably be one, because we've also switched from a back 5 to a back 4. So you know you don't need so many right centre backs, right wing backs as much anymore as well.
Just going to say to our nice directive, we've got the next 5 fixtures because it's always nice to see Spike isn't listening to us. Look at this.
Next 5 fixtures, please.
We've just had to wake our director up. We've bored him so much.
I was looking to see if Forsikaski is still playing.
Spike's doing his research.
Forsikaski didn't play today, everyone, so he'll be here on the 1st of January.
There's our festive running up until New Year's and then onwards. Obviously Colchester away, it's Sutton away, Bradford at home, Newport away. That's pretty soon.
I mean, yeah,
weirdly soon.
very
Like playing
quick,
together,
very
yeah.
quick
And then Walsall at home as well. For me, the first 2, I think Colchester and Sutton should be games we're winning. Bradford is obviously a harder team to welcome to Plough Lane. Newport away, obviously we've seen today that they're a team difficult to play against. We struggle to break them down. And then Walsall come here as well.
They've lost at home.
I don't really know much about Walsall, to be honest.
That's right, they've won away, sorry, at Swindon.
Yeah.
Swindon, a team struggling with form.
Yeah.
I look at certain teams like Walsall and I think, man, they're just a mid-table League 2 team, aren't they? I just feel like a team we should be beating. Like,
I think them next 2 games, Colchester, I know they've won today against Gillingham, but most teams have won against Gillingham. No due respect to Gillingham, all due respect to Gillingham.
We've lost to Gillingham.
Yeah, that's a cup. No, we don't like the cup. But you have to think, I thought 7 points from this game, 3-run game, a point today. I'm not saying we're going to get back-to-back wins, but I'd fancy us to get a Colchester and win.
Yeah, I hope so, because I'm going, so it'd be quite nice to spend my Thursday evening with a win.
Right.
Yeah.
And a Thursday night game. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, get with me Thursday night
I
games.
playing Europa League. Cold evens out
Do
in
you
Colchester.
think Nathan Young-Coombs plays on Thursday? Plays instead of Hudlin? No.
Well, Huddy's got a 3-match ban.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is, do you reckon he's ready to start the game, or is that too
No,
much
I
of
reckon
an
You
ask?
build him up. You're probably looking at the Bradford game as the first
Well,
one for
well,
to
I
start.
think
You're
you've got
probably
to go-
looking at
I
half
think you've got
hour.
to go and attack Colchester, though.
Do you
haven't
think-
you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think NYC will come off. I don't think he's fit yet for 9
Do you
minutes.
think Courtney Senior starts then?
I think you probably have to because
Yeah.
obviously you've got to make the change because Hudlin can't play. So I think that probably does leave you with just Courtney Senior.
No, it doesn't have to. Surely not.
Hudlin can't play.
Yeah, but if you think, I know I'm not saying Hudlin starts, but I'm saying you play Davidson, as we've played all season, play Davidson on his own.
Or do you
Yeah, but
move?
you've still
Chislett
got to
or-
make a change. But so who comes in?
Well, we've
then?
gone to 2 up
Because
top.
you're not playing.
last
Yeah,
2
you can
games,
play
haven't we?
bring Marshall, Bendel back
So,
in.
but that's the thing. If you want to change shape, you obviously.
Yeah,
have
I'm
your
sorry.
options.
Sorry, if we're looking at going 4-2-3-1.
Yeah. Then you
leave-
do
yeah.
have to bring in either Marsh or Bendel because McGowan's out for about.
Just looking
a
at
month.
results. And,
Or you play Chislett central and push Courtney Senior out wide.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Your
Yeah.
options are either if you want to keep the same it's Courtney, or you can bring in a March and Bendel and go a bit more defensive. But I agree with Stu. You've got to go at them.
I think Colchester have to, and do you know what I mean? I think realistically, if we should be going there to win the game. We beat them down here, didn't we? If I remember properly.
Yeah.
Did we beat them down here, Colchester?
I can't
Yes,
remember.
beat him 2-1. Josh Davidson brace.
Yeah.
There you are. So I think we should be going. Personally, I'd put Nathan Young-Coombs on for the first half hour, first half. Probably try and get game time out of him. Definitely go and attack him, but then obviously it's coming to Sutton. Do you know what, it's frustrating losing a forward. Nathan Young-Coombs has taken so long. Sorry, Carl Hudlin has taken so long trying to get in the team, and now he gets himself a 3-match ban. It's just
Potentially
not-
ends his time with us if he goes back on
Well,
loan.
the window opens up in January
Do-
1st.
Do you guys think we keep hold of Assal?
Yeah, I don't. I think his offside record for me wouldn't. The fact he's offside 4 or 5 times a game. Why would a team in the high division want a player that's constantly offside?
Because he scores goals, he wins us the
Hey,
free
look,
kick today.
he's got 10 goals. He's got 10 goals this season.
The thing is,
already.
he's got 10 goals, but how good could he be if he passed the ball instead of dribbling into danger and was onside? It's the thing that frustrates me with him. He's such a good player, but he just wastes so much.
He will have interest in the window. There's no doubt about that. Whether it meets our valuation, that's a different.
What do you
but
reckon our valuation is of him?
I would easily look at 1.5.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, I mean the one thing I'd say is we have to be aware of his contract as well, because his value now will not increase from January. It will
But I
only
say, do we think
decrease.
he's worth more than Rudy though?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
he's worth more than Rudy. I mean, I think 1.5 is probably a bit higher. I think it's probably closer to 1. But it's definitely 7 figures. And I mean, personally, I would sell him in this window just purely on the basis of his value is going to be the highest it is now. It will only go down from the summer.
You've got a kid who's 20, right? He's 21 in I think about a couple of months. 10 goals already. It's not his first, it's not a flash in the pan either. He scored goals last season.
And the year before.
Yeah, I think there'd be interest. Whether it meets our valuation, I'm not too sure. This window's a desperate window because what I would say, last thing you want to do is sell him and then don't replace him because
The good thing would
he
be a
is
sell with a
big
loan
loss.
back. A sell with
Yeah,
a loan
like,
back into the summer.
yeah, we've never done that before. Where you look
Yeah,
at a loan
because
back.
the thing is, I don't think he'll cut it in the Championship, for example, where Rudy's gone. If we're looking at similar player paths, maybe the
Do you know
league
what,
above, but I don't.
I just think in a good team, like I'm not saying we're a bad team, but I think
We're not a great
But what I
team.
mean is, you look at today, doubled up on him.
Yeah.
Everyone doubles up. But if you were in a competitive team in a championship, then actually they put him one or double up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he will. I think Assal just gets better and better. We see a lot of the things that frustrate us.
A lot of the things.
But if we actually looked at all our positives, he gets the ball and you think something's going to happen. Do you know what I mean?
He has the moments of magic, like against Tranmere, where he cut and put it top corner. But there's so many little things he does where you just think, just play a pass there, play a 1-2.
Yeah.
But
And
don't
that's
get me wrong,
what team- that's
I'm
what
not saying I
teams-
don't want to see him go and do good things, because
I
I'd
think-
love to see him go, and obviously he's a Wimbledon player.
I think given his potential in his age and the fact that we had interest in the summer, we must have targets if he goes, okay, we're going to go for them. Whilst if with Ollie Palmer, there wasn't interest in the summer for him.
We can't do it.
And given Ollie
Palmer's
Palmer's age, we probably didn't think, oh, someone's going to come in for a bid. It's a totally different story with ourselves. So we've got to be more prepared and we've got to learn from our mistakes from last year. But I personally think if we get a good offer for Assal, yes, I think he'll go because we are a selling club, but I also don't think we are desperate to sell. Like, I don't put it this way. I don't think somebody can come in with a cheap offer and we'll go, oh, we need to take that. I don't think somebody can give us 500 grand and we're going to go.
George is right.
Don't have a choice.
George is right. I wouldn't sell in this window, but I think if you're going to sell, you sell in because you're right. The value will always decrease.
Yeah.
It's like anything. He's now proven he can score double figures in League Two, but if you get to August, you've got to sell them because if you don't sell in August, you're then giving Assal basically the opportunity to see his contract out, and we can't afford that. So it's something tempts us. But I would worry. I want us to look at going for promotion this season. I think we still can.
It's interesting as well though, because if you sold Assal, you have got Nathan Young-Coombs, who is on the bench, who could come in. You have got some who is quality.
But do we know if Nathan Young-Coombs is staying until?
Yeah, I think he'll stay until the end.
I think he will. But
I think he will.
It's just we need to plan. We don't want to plan for something that then could potentially not happen in terms of.
Spike it as well. Right? Yeah.
In terms of because obviously I think him and Paris injury depending will stay until August or when the season ends.
So we're just looking confused.
Yeah, some technical issues. At the moment we can't see the screen.
Spike, the TV is on bottom right. Have a look.
But yes, but talk about MIC, I don't think he would have come on today if he wasn't going to stay. So I do think we got him for the year. But I think we do probably need to look at, especially if Hudlin does go back, or even if we sell Ayub. But I think we're in a position now where we're
still here.
We're still here. We can see ourselves again, so I can stop filling.
That's a worry.
Yeah, but no, I think you've got to sell Ayub this window. If you get someone who gets to your valuation, which let's be honest is going to be 7 figures, we have to take it. And let's be honest, it's probably been Jamie Johnson's biggest responsibility since he came on board in the summer. Is finding targets for the successors of players like Ayub, so that we can pull the trigger in January if we need it.
Matt Harwood is basically picking on what you said there. If Assal passed and stayed on side, he wouldn't be with a League Two now.
That's a very good point.
Joe, I don't mind players going offside because it means they're trying to go in behind. I don't necessarily have a problem with it.
It's just frustrating because it's so often. I think Arash, when he was on for a few weeks ago, he said about the stat, and Assal is obviously the most offside player in the league. And from the last few weeks, I'm sure he's probably strengthened that. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's not good because he's a sensational.
And do you know what? I think some of them have been lazy offsides where he hasn't kept up with play, and we've won the ball back. But
that's what the potential is, though, isn't it? I mean,
there is so much potential with him.
You can teach that. You can learn that. And
he's only 20.
He's
only 20. And the annoying thing is, right, someone else is going to get that potential.
I'm more annoyed with his pointless bookings than I am his pointless offsides.
He's got better at that. His petulance has got better, and you can see him mature as a footballer. Which I think it will come with the offsides, but just in the current moment, it is frustrating because you think how many chances and things he would have created if he wasn't offside. It breaks play up, it stops that momentum.
Definitely.
But my Assal rant aside, have we got any of the results from today?
No. Got them here.
Do you want to read them out for us?
Yes, I will do the scoreboard now. What we got? Carlisle beat Bradford 1-0. That was like top of the table, not top of the playoff.
Yeah.
Sutton went at Crawley 2-1. Also, we said Colchester beat Gillingham. Harrogate beat Grimsby at home 3-2. 1-1 between Mansfield and Northampton. Hartlepool won at Rochdale again. That's bottom of the table. Bottom of the table clash. Salford drew with Barrow 1-0. Stockport beat Crewe 2-0. Also won at Swindon 2-1, and Tranmere beat Doncaster Rovers 3-0.
So I really wanted you to read them out, like when the automated guy was
won.
AFC Wimbledon 1, Newport County 1.
Well, I could change the scores if you want, but that'd be a bit boring. Do you know what I mean?
Interesting there that Gillingham's new owners have come in and watched a loss. They won't be probably happy with that.
Yeah,
buying a club.
And also, there's been total dejection around here today because no alcohol's being sold, is it? Half time, it was like someone had told us we'd lost the game.
That's probably why we lost. No?
That's all you can hear is they're not selling beer. We understand that due to some safety.
Yeah, because the PA wasn't working, it was they had to stop the sale.
Yeah.
I don't get that though. Is that because you can't tell people that they're pissed?
I think it's the
minimum. Do you know what I mean?
Well done, Stu. I think it's more to do with minimising the risk of something going wrong, and obviously the less alcohol that's consumed, the less chance of something going wrong.
It did feel weird today with no music.
Yeah, it did
OPA.
fall straight. That, now you put. I couldn't think of what it was. But
And at
that's
half
it,
time,
yeah.
George and I come out half time, you could just hear people's conversations. It's like, oh, this is weird.
People do speak.
It felt
Sit
like,
inside
it felt
for
like it's a
half-time.
non-league game.
Yeah, the conversations were, they're not selling no alcohol.
That's all you could hear. That's all you could hear. Do you know what? They're not selling alcohol. Like all these people that live by alcohol and teetotal now. See, so anyway.
I know. Right, it is nearly 22, so I think
If our director's listening again.
call an end to proceedings after 1-1 draw with Newport County. Thank you to George, Stu,